Welcome to the Woman Who Makes Things Happen show. My name is Agnes van Rhijn, and I'm a life and business success mentor to female entrepreneurs and small business owners who want to create success, whatever success means to them, but on their own terms. At the Woman Who Makes Things Happen show today, it is my privilege to be interviewing Ashish Paul. Ashish is a qualified Ayurvedic doctor and medical herbalist. She is one of the very few qualified practitioners in two distinct systems of complementary and alternative medicine. She has worked in India, in the UK, in Switzerland. She currently practices from her home clinic and from Harley Street. She works with people to take them on a holistic journey of health and more recently has been working with people with infertility. Welcome to the Woman Who Makes Things Happen show. How are you? Do you hear me? Oh, we have a freeze. Yeah, we had a freeze. You were gone. So I was welcoming you. Welcome to the Woman Who Makes Things Happen show, Ashish. Sorry for that.
Okay, so I say that again. So thank you so much, Agnes, for giving me this opportunity to talk to you. And I've met you at the business show as well. So it was fantastic to connect with you. And I'm very happy to be on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, it was a real pleasure to meet you. It was not that long ago. It was only last week. And it was really fun. So Ashish, tell us more about you, about your story, about how you have arrived where you are today.
Oh, long story, but I'll cut it a little bit short.
We have half an hour.
Yes. I would say that I'm destined to do what I'm doing because, medicine is something I always wanted to do. So I always wanted to be a doctor and I always wanted to serve people. But I wanted to do in the capacity of modern, what we say, allopathic doctors. Mm-hmm. But I happened to do Ayurvedic medicine initially, which I would say that Ayurvedic medicine chose me at that time because that's not what I was looking for at that time. So I did Ayurvedic medicine in India. And same thing happened when I came here to UK, that I stumbled upon herbal medicine course. So I did herbal medicine course. Again, this was at the time when I was looking for BSc and MBBS and other courses. So I always say that I feel, and now I know this is my path, and I was always destined to do this. So this is the only thing that I've always done. So herbal medicine and Ayurveda. Mm-hmm, so both of those things have chosen me. I just stumbled upon them first time and second time also. So now I know that definitely I am on this path and it's a destiny.
So you are where you should be, definitely.
Yes, now I feel that because I was a good student when I was growing up. I could have chosen so many other things. I was also interested in engineering. I was interested in architecture as well as fine arts because I'm good in drawing and painting. But this is my biology was my calling because I used to love biological systems and all of that. And I knew, okay, I'm going to start with medicine and let's see where it takes me. And that's how I think I've become doctor. And also the fact that I have got very deeper connection with medicine and doctors when I was very young, about 7 years old. I had a heart operation.
So there was a story behind
so there is a story behind that I was so fascinated with the work that doctors do. And, I wanted to be a heart surgeon. Mm-hmm. But I'm not doing that. But I do look after heart, but in a more spiritual way, not in a medical way now. And I think that's where the story actually starts from, that I had this operation when I was 7 years old and I was in hospital for about 2 months. And I saw all these doctors in their capacity, what they can do and how good they can make patients feel, they can make them better. So it's a blessing for them that they can do all those things. So that then deepened my interest in medicine. And then I stumbled upon Ayurveda. Then I did herbal medicine when I came here. And I've done masters in herbal medicine. So now I know for sure. And people who do numbers and who do astrology and all of that, they've told me that this is your path. I'm here to serve people. No, I know for sure. So now I don't look at, any other thing.
So Ashish, tell me what made you choose Ayurvedic medicine, other than you stumbled on it, but versus normal quote unquote medicine.
I would say when initially I did it, I just did it without knowing anything, that what I'm doing is actually unique and it's one of its kind. It's the oldest system of healthcare in the world. All those things was not important at that time. I just did it. And I wanted to work in the main field. But it's just when I came to this country, when I started doing herbal medicine, I went to the class and somebody asked me, oh, what have you done before? And I said, I've done Ayurvedic medicine. And they looked at me up and down. They said, what are you doing in the class? You're already qualified in a system, which is complete. And then it started to dawn on me that what actually I have done is really precious. When I came here, I started to listen to the health issues that people have in the West, and all the spices and things that they love to use. And I started getting more and more into it. That's when my interest and my devotion towards Ayurveda really deepened. And I got more and more interested, and I knew that, okay, I really need to take this path further, because even at that point I could have left it.
And so I understand from what you were saying when we spoke last week that Ayurveda is more than just medicine. It's a lifestyle, I would almost say. Is that how you would describe it?
Absolutely. We say it's a way of life.
It's a way of life. Okay.
Yeah. So Ayurveda, Ayu means life, and Veda means to know it. So to know life in its all ways and shapes and form. So it's not just when you are sick. So Ayurveda describes when you're healthy, how to maintain health. It describes when you want to live longer, what to do about that, and how to live with the environment. It talks about the environment. It talks about the psychology. There are so many mantras and so many invocations that we do, which are psychological medicine, basically.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's not just about ill health. And actually, Ayurveda is not mainly about ill health. It's about prevention. So it's so much about preventing. And it's a way of life. Once you start taking, for example, if you have stomachache and you come to me and you say, okay, I have got this issue, and I give you one medicine. There are so many other little things in your lifestyle that you have to do to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
So it then goes deeper and deeper. What you think about your food, how you eat your food, how you live your life, how you get up in the morning, what you do you do yoga or not? So it's all interlinked. So we say it is to know your life in good health, not so good health, happy health, not so happy health, happy mind, not so happy mind. So all of that is part of Ayurveda.
Interesting, fascinating, really interesting. So if we now look at what it took you, the journey to start your business and to make it sustainable, etc. I'd like to know what were the biggest challenges that you have been facing in that process.
Okay.
It seems we don't have a good day because there was a freeze again.
Yes. I have the one of the best connections, but still,
yeah. Same here. So I don't know if you heard my question.
I didn't hear it.
You didn't. So my question was, what were the biggest challenges that you have been facing in the process of setting up your business and making it a sustainable one?
One of the main challenges is that complementary and alternative medicine, under which Ayurveda comes under that branch, is that it's a private medicine. People have to pay for it. So that's the one biggest mental stumbling block, because in UK people are so used to going to a GP and it's free of cost, that for them to make that first step is the hardest. So for somebody to come and see me, they have to be so much they have to so much want it, and they really be have to be prepared to change everything, whatever I tell them, because it's not just about consultation. They might have to do other things with it afterwards. There are treatments involved. There might be other detoxification programs involved. So I say normally it's the first step is the hardest. So that mindset to tell people that you need it, and you don't only need it when you are sick, you need it when you are healthy, so that you don't get sick, because that mindset is, again, we think, okay, I only want to go to a doctor when I'm not feeling well.
Yeah, no, I see. Interesting. And so how often, you make me curious about then that process, how often would someone come and see you then?
Generally it's every 4 weeks. So every 3 to 4 weeks is appointment. But I sometimes tell people, if there is, we can prolong it. I'll do 6 weekly, because sometimes people cannot travel that far. So we do Skype consultations in between. But 4 weekly is more or less. Yeah.
So you do your work also remotely. You can do it virtually.
I can do it virtually too. The only thing with Ayurvedic medicine is and also with herbal traditional medicine, is it's good to meet person in person, and rather than just seeing somebody on Skype. And also the fact that I need to take pulse. So I do say to them that at some point, come and see me so that I can take your pulse. And I don't mind meeting people halfway if it's convenient, so that I can at least do that. But otherwise, yes, I do my work online as well. Yep.
Okay, so in essence, the ideal is a combination of in person and Skype then.
Yes,
I see.
Yes. I mean, sometimes, and actually, it's not that difficult to understand all of it, but we just have to ask too many questions. Pulse is something which gives me some subtle information, which person may not know about themselves.
Okay. And so let's come back to that challenge. So you have the challenge of, well, in essence, finding clients when you started then, because they were not necessarily ready to pay, which is interesting, because there are quite a few professions where the same applies. So I think that that type of feedback will be very valuable. So how did you sort that? How did you make it work?
Big question. But yes, that is a challenge, and that has been challenge, and it's an ongoing thing. But where I am now, it has become a little bit easier. But for that, one thing that works in my favor is to educate people, to keep talking about Ayurveda. I do so much work on social media, that's coming out of my ears. Because I talk about it everywhere. And initially when I started, I used to talk a lot about idealistic view of Ayurveda. I would start from Vata, Pitta, Kapha and all of that. And slowly, with my own experience, what I've realized is that I need to connect with people what their issues are, how Ayurveda can help them. So now I talk about those things. So when I'm tweeting, when I'm doing social media posts, when I'm doing on my business page, then I talk about the issue that somebody would say, okay, how does it help my IBS? Yeah. And the fact that people do not even realize that herbs can help them with any condition or every condition. We do have patients with cancer, IVF. I treat or manage so many people who are going through IVF. So it's not that it's only for very normal, small things. Even the big things can be treatable. So my idea is to get through to as many people. And I do very basic question answer kind of thing in my social media posts, so that that Ayurveda can help you with your endometriosis. Have you heard about herbs which can help you in endometriosis? Because people don't even think that they can use herbs. So that has worked really well for me. Telling people, educating people that it can help you, and talking about it everywhere. Wherever I get an opportunity to stand up and talk about Ayurveda, I'll just stand and talk about Ayurveda.
I've seen it.
Yes. So that has worked. I think that has worked for me, but which most of the other practitioners, I think many don't do.
So in essence, when they come to you, they already know about Ayurveda. So, I mean, it's not a total discovery. They have been educated, as you say. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Either they know about Ayurveda, or they know about yoga, or they have seen some of my things, or they might have heard from somewhere else, but little bit, and they're curious that how it can help them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what brings them through. And in my experience, what I have found, all the people that I have treated, over a number of years, is that once they are here, they never go back to normal stuff.
No, that I can imagine.
So yeah, it's just first of that. But they have heard of Ayurveda, because obviously for somebody to come and see me, they need to know a little bit that.
No, of course it cannot be just complete ignorance, but yeah. Mm. So in reality, it's always coming back to educating people, which is a quote unquote sales process anyway. It's all about educating people, and it's not about talking. It's not talking about how you do things. It's talking about the results for them, because their starting points are their pain points. That's
absolutely. Because it's no good me just talking about very higher concepts, because Ayurveda is vast. It's so big that even I'm still learning. There are so many depths to it. There's layer after layer. But if I talk from their point of view, where they're starting from, so they have a knee issue, they have a backache, they have a thyroid issue. So whatever they come with, I need to talk from that point. I need to take their hand and walk them through from that process onwards. And then they start to get interested in how to change their diet, how to do yoga, how to change other things in their lifestyle. And they get more and more deeper into it, because it starts to make a difference to their life.
It's interesting, because I almost can compare it with coaching. Usually people come to coaching the first time because there is a problem. And once they become conscious of how powerful it is and the results they can get, then they are coming back, but not necessarily for a problem. It's to develop, to construct, it's a similar approach, in fact. Yeah, very interesting.
It is interesting, and coaching is another thing which I'm focusing a lot on. And what I'm realizing also, because one of my friends said to me, I can see you being somebody who can hold somebody's hand and walk them through.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to think of myself as well, but what I've seen is that's how I work also with my patients. I can notice now the process, my own process, how I work with them, because I like to see how that has changed their life. So sometimes I tell patients, okay, you can only pay me for this much. The rest I'll do for myself, because I want to see it work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I do sometimes certain things extra, so that they're a bit more encouraged and motivated, so that they can use it.
So coming back to the challenges, so apart from the financial aspect, is there anything else that you find challenging? Is there anything, in the work-life balance, in the managing your time, in the whatever? What do you find challenging?
Challenging, yes. I think the main challenge is that because it's not in the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
So all the Ayurvedic practitioners, or any traditional medicine or complementary medicine, is that we have to educate people and then work, and then we can only work for ourselves. There are hardly any jobs in this field.
Yeah. So
if I'm working, then I have to do it as a business. And I don't come from a business background. I have learned everything on the ground, first-hand experience of everything. I still don't know anything about numbers or accounts. So that has been the challenge, and the mindset, because whether you do a business for £1 or £1 million, the effort is still the same. And there is so much effort, and the mindset is so different when I'm running a business or if I work for somebody else.
Yeah, that's
the mindset is completely different. So that I had to learn and develop. So that has been challenging. I mean, now I'm used to it, but I would say that, initially that was a challenge. And of course, the balance, as you asked, how we are as parents, and then, there are children to look after, there are other things to do. So I work flexibly in between. And because my work is mainly appointment based work, so I don't have to necessarily do 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
So I can always manage my time accordingly. But it is difficult like anybody else. And sometimes balance is completely one side, and then kids are saying, "Where are you, mommy?" So yeah, it's hard. But if one is motivated, and for that, I was telling somebody else as well, I have to feel it in each and every cell of me.
Mm-hmm.
This is me. This is my life. So I have to ooze Ayurveda from every pore of me. Only then it works.
So it's all that alignment and authenticity and
Yeah. If I have any doubt, and also if I think, do I work, do I not? And if I also think that, okay, this is only sideline business, because for many women it is.
It seems we are unlucky today. I have a freeze again. Do you hear me, Ashish?
Yes, it was a bit stuck.
It's Mercury in retrograde, remember? I'm not surprised.
Don't worry. It adds to the fun of it.
Well, talking about authenticity, that's how I run my interviews. They are authentic, so they go with the flow, and here there obviously wasn't the flow.
So yes, so it is, work-life balance is difficult, but what I was saying was, if I am, and when only I am fully committed to it, then it works.
Mm-hmm. So that obviously is already a first tip, to say be fully committed. What would you say are your top 3 tips to make a business work that you're passionate about?
Oh, goodness me. Oh, you put me on the spot. The main 3 tips, I think I told somebody, first thing was to be in that mindset, mm-hmm. that this is your business, your baby, and you have to make it work. Mm-hmm. And you have to earn a living from it. So unless you have that do or die attitude, it won't work.
Yeah.
So full-heartedness is needed. So that's my first tip, and it's a mental attitude. Secondly, educate people, tell people, especially if it's something which is not very well known. Mm-hmm. Then tell anywhere, wherever there is an opportunity to talk about it. So more people know, and to make those strategic connections like we make at Athena,
Yeah.
To make those connections and talk about it. So that's my second thing. And third tip would be, to be ready for a roller coaster ride, I would say.
Yes, definitely.
Because there will be challenges in terms of money, because this is not like, as I said, working for someone. So in your own business, you have work for 1 month and then you might be free for a month. It's never absolutely consistent. So to be ready for that as well, and to allow for that, mm-hmm. Your work, which is
to work, to embed it.
Yes. So those 3 main things. But mm-hmm. first and foremost for me is the mindset.
Yeah.
If you have the mindset, you're committed, then other 2 will follow.
Thank you for that. So Ashish, time flies. Can you tell us where people can find you?
Oh yeah, people can find me online. My website is www.ashishveda.uk. And then there is social media attached to that, everywhere on Facebook. You just need to Google my name, and it's very easy to find me. I work from Harley Street and in Essex, which is in Chigwell or Woodford Green area. So if people want to come, but online is the best. And my mobile number I can give if people want to.
Up to you. Mm-hmm.
It's 07779 711 615. And I'm always happy to hear from people. So for me, there is no time as such. They can ring me anytime. So,
your kids won't be happy.
no, they just want to throw away my phone.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Ashish, thank you so much for this lovely interview. We're sorry for the technical issues we've been facing, but yeah, hey, they're out of my control. I can't control that. And well, we'll definitely see each other again, that's for sure. And so for the viewers and the listeners, because there's also an audio version of these video interviews, if you too want to create the life and the business that is aligned and authentic, and yeah, make a living out of it, you can go to my website, www.anyesvanrhijn.com, and that is ANYESVANRHIJN.com, to book a complimentary discovery consultation with me and find out how I can help you do so. Thank you so much, Ashish, again. And well, see you, the listeners and viewers, in the next interview. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.